Neha and I'm from Karavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In the news tonight, do not despair, says President. Disease prevention measures for the North. And Good Samaritans reach out.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
President Major General retired George Conrote has urged Fijians not to give in to despair in the face of Tropical Cyclone Yasa and the year-long effects of COVID-19. In his Christmas message yesterday, President Conrote acknowledged that Fiji has suffered immensely this year. Kelly Vadala reports.
2020 has been an extremely trying year for Fiji.
In the wake of severe cyclone Yasa's climate-charged devastation, families have lost their homes, farmers have lost crops and livestock. And we are only beginning the hard work of reclaiming what the latest storm has stolen from us.
While most people may be burdened by their circumstances, the President says the nation must recognize that Fijians have fought on day after day.
Fijian businesses and families that count on them are still suffering from a devastating global economic crisis, while families and friends remain separated by border closures as the pandemic rages overseas. Despite these challenges, we must not give in to despair. We are here, and we are standing. We are strong, and we are looking forward eagerly to a brighter day and future.
Those in the front line of aid and relief efforts have also been commended.
We should all be thankful for the work carried out by our security forces and medical first responders, many of whom are spending this Christmas in the service of their fellow Fijians, for their tireless efforts in ensuring that those affected are able to return to some semblance of normalcy. More recently, we thank the many businesses and friends of Fiji around the world who have come to our aid in the wake of Tropical Cyclone Yasa.
The President says all Fijians must support each other in these final days of 2020 and look to 2021 with vigor and hope for better days. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
The Ministry of Health is monitoring the Northern Division to ensure there is no outbreak of diseases. In a media briefing today, Minister for Defence Inia Seriratu confirmed health teams were deployed 2 days ago. Seriratu says they are establishing 3 forward operating units in different locations. Kritika Kumar reports.
One of the teams will be based in Nambualu and another will be based at Lekutu Government Station beside the health centre.
One in Nakorobatu, in the Kondrove in Welebu Tikina, because Welebu is one of the 2 Tikinas in the Kondrove that come under our red zone classification.
Disease prevention includes a forestry team clearing location for spraying, while the Fiji Roads Authority is assisting the health teams to access areas. Seriratu says as many diseases are associated with water, the government is trying to supply safe drinking water to all Fijians.
With the package plants, we just take it to a local stream and it does filtration and then treatment and then into the... So that lessens our travel time, lessens our cost as well. And they are now based in Lekutu, the main river there, and we will be utilizing that because a lot of this has to do with water.
There's also the need to have appropriate footwear during this time, closed shoes so that you could avoid things like leptospirosis.
With farmers losing livestock to the Category 5 cyclone, the Ministries of Health and Agriculture are carefully disposing of dead animals.
A lot of dead animals, and we have special machines that are doing all the digging, dig the pits so that we can bury these dead animals, and of course do the necessary spraying as well. We are doing our best so that there won't be any outbreak after this Yasa.
The Health Ministry earlier deployed a team of logistic officers to mitigate the risk of disease outbreak following TC Yasa. The ministry confirmed that forward planning centres had been set up in some hotspot areas in Vanuatu. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
All COVID-19 protocols will be followed for international relief teams coming into assist in rehabilitation post-TCSA. Australian naval vessel HMAS Adelaide is being deployed to assist the government in relief efforts. Kritika Kumar again.
Disaster relief efforts will be undertaken in line with COVID-safe measures.
They will still go through the quarantine process of 14 days, but at the same time we have made some discussions with them on how we can utilize them while they are serving their quarantine period. So that's what we are working on.
Seriratu says Australian Defence Force personnel will have to undergo the 14 days quarantine, while authorities figure out how they can still be of use within their isolation period.
After the first 48 hours again, there will be another test. If it turns out to be positive for one of the crew members on deployment or one of the members of the ADF, then the whole ship will return, and then we'll see how things go.
Australian Foreign Minister Mary Spain had earlier this week announced the HMAS Adelaide will be deployed to provide immediate assistance to thousands of Fijians, including remote islands. The ship is expected to arrive in Fiji on 30th. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The true spirit of Christmas was evident today as dozens of families stepped forward to assist a family in Newtown, Nasinu, who have very little this festive season. After FBC News ran a story on the More family last night, we were inundated with calls and messages from people wanting to help. As Kelly Badala reports, Good Samaritans today showed up with food and other essentials.
Emotional and speechless, 64-year-old Sakio Mother did not expect people to show up at his doorstep this morning.
I am so happy. I am grateful to everyone for taking out their time to come see us. This is the best Christmas we've ever had in the longest time. It's truly a blessing to know that there are good people out there with good hearts, still willing to help out, even though times are hard. My wife, granddaughter and I are so lucky. We have so much food now that can last 2 to 3 months at least.
Sakio and his wife, who has been bedridden for months, also received cash donations from Fijians as far as the United Kingdom and Canada.
I now have money to buy medical essentials for my wife. I am her only carer. For months I have fed her, bathed her and carried her around and kept her safe. I can't thank people enough for their kindness. They made our lives easier this festive season. We don't have to go to bed thinking about our next meal. I am so thankful to FBC as well.
Good Samaritan Sayasi Nambuta says the true spirit of Christmas is giving, something that is ingrained in the nature of Fijians.
I read the news article yesterday and I was touched with how Sakio was celebrating Christmas. Even though they appreciated the little things they had, my family and I had to step in to help, and I am glad we are not the only ones. This is what Christmas is all about. If we support each other this way, the world would be a better place.
It was a true Christmas miracle for the More family, who says their prayers have been answered and that they're humbled to see how fellow Fijians have reached out to help. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
Up ahead, business coaching program sees results. And drug peddlers, beware.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Villagers of Votua and Boa are counting their lucky stars after surviving the wrath of tropical cyclone Yasa. Villager Semisi Nangiso says that was the first time for them to experience a tropical cyclone of that magnitude, damaging about 94 houses. Josaina Nunga reports.
This was the mess created by Tisiasa at Votua village, destroying 7 homes and damaging many more.
Strong winds had no mercy on us and neighboring villages. We were evacuated at a nearby school, but we were shocked that the walls of the classroom started giving in. But the men of the village lined up against the walls and held up the walls until the wind died down. We were just motivating each other throughout the night, waiting for the wind to pass.
Naingiso says they have been receiving relief supplies from the government, but the worry now is how to rebuild their homes so that they can withstand Category 5 storms.
This is the first time for the villagers to experience a cyclone of this magnitude. 7 houses were completely destroyed and about 87 were partially damaged. The damage caused by TC Yasa has encouraged us to rebuild at a standard that can withstand strong winds, and we need assistance for that.
77-year-old Mereoni Matavesi had to take drastic steps to save herself from this superstorm.
We were at an evacuation center, but the strong winds made us more worried that it might damage the evacuation center as well. We ran to seek shelter under a house for about 6 solid hours before TC Yasa died out. We are thankful to God for saving our lives.
Motua village has 97 homes. Only 3 escaped undamaged. Jose Nanunga, FBC News.
The Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation is receiving positive response from 43 businesses attempting their coaching program. The initiative started in October to help entrepreneurs, team leaders and emerging leaders with skills necessary to improve productivity amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Executive Kameli Mbatiweti says a good number of businesses are returning to some state of normalcy. Josai Nanunga reports.
The FCEF is urging micro, small and medium enterprises to take advantage of this program during these trying times.
It's important that they get these kind of services. It's not available in Fiji. Thanks to the Australian government, thanks to the New Zealand government through Fiji Enterprise Engine and Business Link Pacific, that they provide these advisory services, that we house them here or we provide a secretariat in our office. They don't have to be a member of FCEF.
Mbatiweti says it's worth noting that women entrepreneurs are keen to learn new business methods.
Women Entrepreneurs Business Council, they are one of our most active councils at FCEF and very cheap to become a member of the Women Entrepreneurs Business Council. Just $50 plus VAT whole year, and almost every week our WebC having programs almost every week. So I encourage Fijians to come, take advantage.
Leadership and well-being coach Kitiana Chut says the program has assisted most registered businesses get back on track in a span of 2 months.
And I had some good ones on LinkedIn as well. A lot of them just talked about the transformation, self-transformation that this coaching program had done for them, and that they've never really been through such a session before, because in all their training, a lot of the programs have been, just someone facilitating, talking. But in this one, it was 10% content facilitation and the rest was reflection. So everyone got to participate.
Mbatiweti says more coaching programs are scheduled for next year as it is becoming more relevant to every workplace in the country. Jose Nanunga, FBC News.
10 drivers were taken into custody for drunk driving yesterday as part of the police Christmas Day operations. Acting Director Traffic Senior Superintendent Mitieli Divuana says 6 cases were recorded from the Western Division, 2 in the Northern Division, and a case each in the Central and Eastern Divisions. SSP Divuana adds 149 drivers have so far been charged for breaching traffic rules. Speeding and driving without a license tops the list, with 108 drivers being charged. 875 vehicles were intercepted, of which 339 were inspected. The Fiji police force will closely monitor the movement of people to various popular picnic spots around the country during this festive season. This comes as a 17-year-old male from Sukanaivalu Road in Lautoka is believed to be the country's latest drowning victim. Police say the alleged incident occurred yesterday when the victim had gone swimming in the Tautaua River. When he failed to surface, a search was conducted and his body was found floating in the river. A post-mortem will be conducted as investigations continue. The latest case brings the drowning death toll to 37 when compared to 41 for the same period last year. Chief Operations Officer ACP Abdul Khan says there will be high movement of people. Therefore, the force wants to ensure that safety measures are followed at all times. The Fiji police force intensified its drug operations throughout Fiji this year, resulting in several major seizures. Police Chief of Operations ACP Abdul Khan says the latest seizure was in Serua last week. ACP Khan says they have also seized marijuana at jetties and wharves where drugs were being shipped across on inter-island vessels.
So the message to the drug peddlers, drug pushers, that we'll continue on hunting on you all, and once we get you, you'll be taken to task.
Coming up in sports, Bears structure a challenge for Ranranra and promoting boxing despite challenges. This and more coming up.
I'm Vinal Prakash है, गोल्टन तामो में रहता है और सबको रेडियो Fiji 2 सुने, सबको लाइक करे।
रेडियो Fiji 2 देश की धड़कन।
Flying Fijian centre Samaritans is excited about his return to the Bristol Bears starting lineup after missing their last 2 games. He sustained a leg injury in the Autumn Nations Cup where he featured with the Flying Fijians against Georgia. Speaking to Bristol media team, Ranran reveals it's going to be tough playing the Harlequins in Premiership Rugby tomorrow morning. Aquila Dama has more. The 2021 Hong Kong Sevens will now be held in November following continuing coronavirus uncertainty after it was scrapped altogether this year. The tournament was last held in April 2019, which means it will be more than 2.5 years when it finally returns. Organizers said Hong Kong's 4th wave of infections and similar problems elsewhere around the world prompted them to shift the event to November. Hong Kong is now scheduled to be the last leg of the 2020-2021 World Series. Details of the other tournaments are yet to be announced after the season openers in Dubai and South Africa, followed by stops in Australia and New Zealand, were cancelled. Promoting a boxing program in the country is not easy. One can just ask promoter Freddie Chand what's it like to stage a boxing event nowadays. Chand was responsible for 2 boxing programs this year. His last promotion earlier this month attracted a large crowd at Mwanga Park in Singatoka, where James Singh beat Chonasa Kabita to win the heavyweight title.
It takes good ample time to run around whole of Fiji, get in communication with all the boxers. And as evidence of last promotion, there was no weight issue in any of the bouts. So that speaks to the volume, like how we are working. We are working behind the scene 24 hours. Any help, any boxes, we look after them really well.
The Fiji Pearls have no more training camps this year. This has been confirmed by Netball Fiji Secretary Lucy Rokoura. The Fiji Pearls extended squad was supposed to have a training camp this month, but this is no longer the case. Players will now enjoy the festive season before getting back to business in the next few weeks.
Training camp is scheduled now for January. The squad has been informed, and we look forward to having the training squad. They are also aware of the athlete immersion program with the Northern Rays in Australia.
In keeping with the Christmas spirit, TVNZ thought they'd revisit the home sport. Occasional showers and a few thunderstorms were experienced over the northern and eastern parts of the country. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere with afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Looking at the west, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, occasional showers, heavy at times and isolated thunderstorms. And up north, occasional showers and a few thunderstorms. At sea, northeast to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate seas. Turning to the tides, the next high tide is at 4:52 a.m. tomorrow, with low tide 10:46 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:30. For tomorrow, cloudy periods with some showers and isolated thunderstorms about Bonolebu, the eastern parts of the interior of the other larger islands. Elsewhere, find apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. Some showers over Bonolebu, Taviuni and nearby smaller islands, the eastern parts and interior of the other larger islands, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. Recapping the main stories, do not despair, says President. Disease prevention measures for the North, and Good Samaritans reach out to family in need. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, is Christmas too commercial? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook and Twitter accounts. That's your news for tonight. Until next week or tomorrow, keep safe and good night.
कुमार सानी नायक गोमवा लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।